We stand with the black community, but we can only do it this much because we don't want to scare away a certain customer base. You're saying one thing, but then, and now, okay, let me see where you're at. What's good, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Corey Latte, and today we're going to be talking about industry response and general influencer response to the Black Lives Matter movement. So as you probably know, a lot of my videos are kind of unscripted and off the dome, so I just kind of want to talk about this specific area of using your platform to speak up about certain social issues, and the idea of not wanting to make it political and what that can mean or say in regards to your consumer base, who you're trying to attract, you know, who you want to be on your side, who you want to continue to be like using your product. Or if you're an influencer, who are you like producing your material or showcasing your art, your talent, your skill to? Who is your audience? And making a statement kind of like, especially like with what's going on right now, kind of puts a stamp on, you know, the side of history that you're on and who's going to continue to consume your material. So just to set a broad example, or I guess a pretty good example, is the NFL. So in 2016, I think, let me do some fact checking. Again, these videos are very unscripted. I just be talking. Oh, so I was right. So in 2016, Colin Kaepernick took a knee. So on one hand, people were saying, you know, or he did it with the intention of it being a protest against police brutality and the discrimination, inequalities, disproportionate treatment of the black community in America. On the other hand, because it was during the national anthem, people were saying that it's disrespectful to the our armed forces, our military. And the reason that's significant is because Colin Kaepernick, you know, he got fired because he did that pretty much. And a lot of other players were kneeling with him, but because they didn't want to get fired and stuff, they stopped after a while. And yeah, it actually, I'm pretty sure it went into like other sports and stuff, and it became like a big, like this thing of kneeling with Cap for a while. And then they had to stop because people believed that it was disrespectful to the flag and people didn't want to get fired, they didn't want to lose their job. There was that tension, that choice that influencers, athletes in this sense, had to make. Is it my job or is it standing up for this cause? So why is this significant? And I just did a little fact checking. The NFL commissioner, Roger Goodell, put out a statement and said that they should have listened to the players who took a knee. They're pretty much like changing their sides, changing their perspectives, and putting it out there on their platform to say, okay, this is where we're standing in this moment. So I personally feel that a lot of organizations are just doing this for show, and they're doing it because they feel the pressure from their audience, and they feel that if they want to keep their audience, they have to put out this response. Straight PR tactics, which, I mean, they have to do if they want to keep that audience base. Because pretty much if you don't say anything, you're pretty much siding with the racists at this point. So one organization that I wanted to talk about in particular was Starbucks. Yes, so for all you caffeine-loving, addicted individuals, Starbucks put out a statement that, you know, saying that they were in solidarity, you know, with the Black Lives Matter movement. However, they also said that I believe their customers could not wear Black Lives Matter attire or paraphernalia in like while they're working and stuff, because it was going to be like seen as too aggressive, might start inciting some type of tensions, and it was gonna, I guess, generally cause discomfort. I don't remember the exact terminology, but I will link an article so you can check that out a little more. And yeah, it's just quite tragic. And with Starbucks being the you know, the stereotype like value white girl drink, it's like so attached to that image, it wasn't like too surprising, but it's also just like quite unfortunate because it shows this juxtaposition of where companies are standing and who their audience really is. So if you're gonna come out and say you cannot wear your Black Lives Matter paraphernalia because it's gonna cause discomfort or something for people, because that's been a large argument about this. I know on Jeff Bezos, as problematic as he may be, on Amazon has Black Lives Matter on the front of their website. Like, you type in amazon.com to go, buy you some Lysol wipes and toilet paper, and Black Lives Matter is right there. It's beautiful. I love it. Again, I think that they're doing it because they kind of have to at the moment, but if they're also really, really supporting it, then, that's cool. But a customer sent out an email and was like, they felt uncomfortable by it, and I guess I want to say that in the email they said they didn't want it to be political, or they didn't like that Amazon was getting political. And I don't know if Jeff Bezos sent out the email, but there was a response made to this particular customer, because the customer also was like, all lives matter, and I'm not even gonna go into that right now. Hello, good morning. It's the next day and I'm editing this video, and I came across something interesting while I was looking up some screenshots and stuff about this Jeff Bezos thing. So this is applicable to Siri and Alexa. Siri, Black Lives Matter.
Yes, they absolutely do.
Okay. Siri, all lives matter.
All lives matter is often used in response to the phrase Black Lives Matter, but it does not represent the same concerns. To learn more about the Black Lives Matter human rights movement, visit blacklivesmatter.com.
Let me find out. Thank you. So yeah, I just thought that was like so interesting. They're like, I don't know. Let's get back to the video now. Using all lives matter like as a response to Black Lives Matter in a way to like, diminish what the actual movement is about. So yeah, Jeff Bezos, I think, or someone put out a response to that on the Amazon team, saying like, why it was important for this to be up there. And again, re-solidifying their stance, like what side of history are you on right now? Are you protecting and preserving racist ideology, or are you actively standing against it? I think that is a really important question as we're looking at how we're going to continue, and what information are we going to consume, what products are we going to consume, and things of that nature. So to go back a little bit to Starbucks, I know I'm kind of all over the place. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. But so yeah, there's like this aspect of companies that are like being flip-flop with this, like we stand with the Black community, but we can only do it this much because we don't want to scare away a certain customer base. And I read a post with the idea of posting, so a lot of people are getting mad at their friends, particularly possibly their white friends, who aren't posting anything about it, who are staying silent and stuff like that. And it's like, I feel, or I perceive it as, a lot of people who are not used to talking about race, or who just don't care to, are not posting anything because either one, they don't care, or two, they don't want to lose friends, or they don't want to be starting anything. They don't want to be making this political, especially for influencers, something I wanted to get in with the fitness industry. And I'm like not hearing a whole lot. I feel Ace has put up something. I don't think Nazem has said. Nazem has barely said anything to my knowledge. And a couple like influencers that I follow, like the black ones are saying stuff, but not even like a lot of the black ones are saying stuff. And it's very like, it's a small black community within the fitness industry in the first place. I had to change the battery, so it might look a little different. But as I was saying, so within the health and fitness industry, this is just so important because black people are disproportionately affected with a lack of access and education to like health practices in general. And even just being able to like get to a gym or having the time to get to a gym. Personal training is expensive. I know. It's the field that I'm, trying to progress through. So hypertension, high cholesterol, all the heart diseases. Black people are much more likely to have these in our communities. And I feel even a part of that is related to the last video that I talked about with being gaslit and constantly having this weight, this pressure that's affecting us. Could be affecting our hearts, could be affecting, it's affecting our mentality, which is going to affect our stress response. And exercise and health and fitness is something that we need to constantly be aware of in a lot of different ways, and it's just lacking. We need more education in that so we can be healthy up here and in here. I'm at my heart. The heart's actually in the middle, but yeah, so I would just like to see more people within my industry using their platform instead of just trying to sell programs. And if they're doing it because they don't want to lose audience, so that's that protecting, which ends up preserving racist ideology, then it's just unfortunate. And I guess it's the world that we're living in right now. But yeah, so there's this cognitive dissonance that's going on. Yeah, so cognitive dissonance is the state of having inconsistent thoughts, beliefs, or attitudes, especially as relating to behavioral decisions and attitude change. So with Starbucks, in one hand, they're like, I want to keep this audience base. Maybe they could possibly genuinely want to support the Black Lives Matter movement. However, there's another audience base that could feel uncomfortable from it, and I don't want it to seem like I'm being political. So when it's not adding up, and that's going to affect my revenue. And at the end of the day, it seems like it's going to be about what's going to be best for their revenue. And they got all the backlash. They saw that they were about to lose a lot of customers, and their stocks went down a lot as well. And they were like, oh, gotta turn this around. This is why people have a PR team. And I just find it disrespectful, I think is the word, as a black woman, where I'm just like, you was saying one thing, but then, and now, okay, let me see where you're at. There are these brands that we enjoy, but we live in a capitalist society, so they don't care about us anyway. They're gonna do what's best for their business. It's cool when they stand by us, but at the end of the day, they're just trying to make $1. And what can we do about that? What can we do about that? Support black-owned businesses. So yes, follow my, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna just follow right there. But yeah, so yes, just being cognizant of that. I am all for black entrepreneurship, black ownership, accumulating black wealth so we can give back to our communities. And that's something I want to work towards as I start to try and figure out what I want to do building this brand, because I'm still very confused. Very, very confused, if you cannot tell. So to end this video, protecting and preserving racist ideology, talking to you big corporations and influencers and celebrities, whose side of history are you on? The colonizer or the oppressed? The side of the people who don't want to get uncomfortable talking about these new topics, new to them. This is very common every day for one group, and for another it's just, oh, I don't want to see social change, and I don't want this to get political. I really hate that term, because when it comes to how my skin, how my race is affecting, me, it's not political, it's a humanity thing, you know what I'm saying? So do I want to make sure they feel uncomfortable, they don't start to feel uncomfortable, so I can preserve their support so it can stay with me? Am I going to protect those feelings, which is going to in turn continue to let white supremacy, racist ideology permeate and allow it to continue, allow it to thrive, allow it to stay in this bubble, I'm gonna say, of crazy? Or the side of the people who have always been uncomfortable, I there's a quote where it's just like, and I realized that going throughout college, like, people would get uncomfortable, you know, talking about race, and I'm like, I'm just talking about how I grew up, and you're getting uncomfortable by that. Like, imagine how uncomfortable it is to live that experience. So are we gonna allow them not to feel uncomfortable, and we're gonna let them keep going about their way? Or are we going to say that this group, we're gonna recognize that this group has been uncomfortable for over 400 years, and those effects are still affecting the community right now? So I'm going to recognize that, and I'm going to protect their feelings and create and start to generate and promote this new way of living, so we can properly, you know, we have to recognize a problem before we can start this proper integration. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. I appreciate you clicking on the video, taking the time to watch this. I don't know how long this is gonna be, but I thank you for watching it. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're taking care of yourself, and I hope you have a great day.